My fiancé and my best friend were trying on matching outfits at Bella Bridal in Manhattan. The lighting inside the shop was dim, the fitting room curtain half drawn. I had meant to surprise Julian, to come early and see how he looked in the tuxedo. Instead, I saw him wrapped around my best friend Sophie. She was wearing the wedding gown I had custom ordered. He was wearing the tuxedo we had chosen together. The instant I pushed open the door, they were kissing. Aurora, let me explain. No need. I slid the engagement ring off my finger and set it gently on the counter. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and tell us in the comments where you're listening from. I stared at them, my heart feeling as if someone had squeezed it hard. Explain what? My voice was oddly calm. Explain when you started? Sophie hung her head, her face scarlet like a child caught stealing cookies. Aurora, her voice trembled. 3 months ago, Julian cut her off. The day you left for the London exchange program. 3 months. For 3 solid months, I'd been abroad killing myself with studying, counting the days until I could come home and marry him. And they had started the very first day I was gone. So, when were you planning to tell me? I twisted the ring off my finger. The same ring he'd slipped on half a year earlier when he went down on one knee. A 6-carat diamond he'd saved 2 years to afford. The wedding's off. I laid the ring on the counter. As for the gown, Sophie should look gorgeous in it. Aurora, it's not like that. Sophie rushed forward. We never meant to what? To betray me? I looked at the girl I'd grown up with. We'd gone to school together in Brooklyn, landed our first jobs together. I'd introduced her to all my best contacts. Even handed her the best opening I'd scouted. Now she wanted my fiancé too. I'm sorry. She was crying. I didn't do it on purpose. Love never really is on purpose, is it? I picked up my purse. I wish you every happiness. Outside Bella Bridal, rain was falling. I hadn't brought an umbrella. Within seconds my clothes were soaked. My phone rang. Mom. Aurora. Julian came by. Says you two had a fight? I watched the water stream down the shop window like tears. Mom. The wedding's cancelled. What? Mom's voice shot up an octave. Why? He fell for someone else. Silence stretched on the other end. Come home. I'll make your favorite braised pork belly. I hung up and realized I was crying. Not from heartbreak, from relief. Back home in Queens, Julian was sitting in the living room. When he saw me dripping wet he reached out. I sidestepped. Aurora, can we talk? What's left to say? I slipped off my heels. You already said it. Mom emerged from the kitchen carrying hot soup. Julian, why don't you head home? Aurora needs time. He hesitated, then finally left. Mom set the bowl in front of me. Drink something hot. You'll catch cold. I'm fine. Mom, silly girl. Crying helps more than bottling it up. I shook my head. Really? I'm okay. We weren't right for each other. We truly weren't. During the 3 years with Julian, I'd always felt something missing. He treated me well, gentle and thoughtful, but there was never that surge that makes your heart race. Maybe because someone else had lived in my heart all along. Someone I should never have fallen for. What about work? Mom worried. You and Julian are at the same firm. I'll request a transfer. Truth was, I'd already decided. After the London program my resume was stronger. I could easily find something better. This could be a brand new start. Early next morning I walked into the office and handed Wendy from HR my resignation letter. She looked stunned. Aurora, you're quitting. Why? Better opportunity. That wasn't an excuse. Yesterday a headhunter had called. A New York-based multinational investment firm was willing to triple my salary. Before, I'd stayed because of Julian. Now that reason was gone. When the paperwork was done I passed Julian's office. He was talking to Sophie. Seeing me, his face flickered with panic. I nodded at them both. Good. Bye. Aurora, Sophie chased me out. You're leaving? Yep. New job. Because of us? Her eyes were red. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean. Sophie, you owe me nothing. I looked her straight in the eye. Love can't be forced. But, no buts. I cut in. Julian's a good man. Treasure him. Then I turned and walked away. Outside the building I felt lighter than air, as if an invisible rope had fallen from my shoulders. The new job sat in Manhattan's financial district, a world-renowned investment house. On my first day I discovered my direct boss was Adrian, the man I'd crushed on at 18, confessed to at 22, and thought I'd forgotten by 25. Aurora, surprise flashed in his eyes when he saw me. Long time. I kept my voice steady. He was still impossibly handsome. The years had only added polish. Immaculate suit, deep-set eyes, every gesture radiating authority. I heard you were getting married, he asked. Flipping through my resume, called off. He glanced up, all the more focus for work. Then, our offices were divided by nothing more than a glass wall. I could see the profile of his concentrated frown, hear the low rumble of his phone voice. It felt like campus all over again. Back then I'd been the finance star at NYU. He the senior every girl idolized. It had taken me 4 full years to work up the nerve to tell him how I felt, only to be rejected. Kindly but firmly. Aurora, you're exceptional, but we're not right for each other. I'd carried that sentence 7 years. Now, sitting across from him, my pulse still skipped. Aurora, step in here. His voice came over the intercom. I straightened my jacket and walked into his office. Sit. He indicated the chair opposite. I've got a project for you. He slid a thick folder across the desk. Firm's flagship this year, $200 million fund. I opened the file and my heart stopped cold. The client was Julian's company. Problem? Adrian caught my expression. None. I closed the file. I'll handle it. You certain? His gaze sharpened. If personal feelings affect performance, they won't. I met his eyes. Work is work. He nodded. Good. As of tomorrow, the project is yours. Back at my desk I drew a long breath. Fate sure loves irony. I'd run from Julian only to spend every day beside Adrian. Escaped my ex yet landed a deal funding his firm. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Aurora. It's Julian. I frowned. What do you want? I heard you joined Morgan Stanley? Yes. That project. His voice wavered. Relax. I'm strictly professional. I hung up and stared at the city lights sprawling below. A city this vast. Why did we keep colliding when we least wanted to? The launch meant constant meetings at Julian's office. Each time he tried to corner me for a private talk, I brushed him off with work excuses. Aurora, you've changed, he said once inside the elevator. People do. I watched the floor numbers climb. Sophie and I, Julian, let's keep to the agenda. I cut in. Personal issues aren't in my job description. The doors opened on 20. I stepped out. His sigh followed me down the hall. Inside the conference room the team poured over decks. I buried myself in numbers, channeling every ounce of energy into the plan. 1 month later we were ahead of schedule, poised to finish early. Adrian was pleased. Nice work. He paused by my desk. Dinner tonight, celebration. I blinked. Dinner? Sushi place nearby, my treat. Business meal. Or, I didn't ask. I agreed. The restaurant was quiet. We took the window table. Why the sudden resignation? He filled a crystal flute of sake for me. Needed a change. You and Julian split? My cup froze midair. How did you know? Educated guess. He gave a faint smile. Knowing you, something drastic had to happen. He still knew me that well. Just like 7 years ago, he cheated. I drained my glass. With my best friend. Adrian's eyes darkened. I'm sorry. It's fine. We weren't right for each other anyway. Why not? No spark. I looked at him. Do you know the feeling? When you see someone and your heart races without permission. When you want to learn everything about them. When a single look from them can make your whole day. He was silent for a long time. I do. His voice was soft. Too bad he didn't feel the same. I gave a rueful smile. So I picked the guy who did. Thinking feelings would grow. And they didn't. Love either exists or it doesn't. Time can't manufacture it. I poured another drink. Instead, the man who turned me down at the start is still living in my heart. Adrian's hand froze midair. He seemed on the verge of speaking, then didn't. Forget it. I waved. The past stays past. After dinner he drove me home to Queens. In the car, he suddenly asked, do you remember that night 7 years ago? What night? I knew exactly what you said to me. Of course I remembered. Senior Adrian, I like you. Let's be together. Back then I'd been green but brave. I remember. I watched the neon streak past the window. You said we weren't right for each other. Not unsuitable. His voice was low. Bad timing. I turned to him. Meaning? You were too young. His hands tightened on the wheel. And I wasn't strong enough to protect you. The car stopped in front of my building. He didn't kill the engine. I didn't get out. And now, my heart pounded. He twisted to face me. Eyes unreadable. Now, his palm brushed my cheek. Now I can protect you. Then he kissed me. It was the softest kiss. Like a feather skimming still water, yet enough to send ripples through my heart. Aurora. His voice hovered at my lips. Give me a chance. Eyes closed. I soaked in his warmth. 7 years. I'd waited 7 years for this chance. Okay, I whispered. Next day at work, nothing had changed. And everything had. He was still the exacting boss. I was still the meticulous subordinate. But when our eyes met, the air crackled. The project was wrapping up. The final board presentation was set for Friday. Julian's company would send senior executives. Aurora, this presentation is crucial. Adrian murmured beside me. Nail it and your name is on the year-end promotion list. I I nodded and dove into prep. Then Sophie called. Aurora, Julian and I are getting married. Her voice was tiny. We'd love you to come. I stared at the spreadsheets on my monitor, fingers frozen over the keyboard. When? Saturday next week. The day after the presentation. All right, I'll be there. Really? She sounded shocked. You're not angry? Angry about what? I hit save. Love isn't a crime. If you two are happy, be happy. After I hung up, Adrian stepped out of his office. Who was that? A friend inviting me to a wedding. He didn't pry. Let me know if you need time off. Not necessary. It's the weekend. The Friday presentation was a slam dunk. The client signed on the spot. Celebrate? Adrian suggested. Let's. We hit his regular bar, the Velvet, and booked a quiet booth. To success. He lifted his crystal flute to a smooth partnership. I tapped mine. A few drinks in, I was tipsy. Tomorrow Sophie marries my ex. I leaned back. Funny. Huh? Are you upset? He slid closer. Not upset. Just ironic. How so? I cleared the way for their love and ended up finding my own. I met his eyes through the haze. Adrian, are you serious? About what? Liking me. He pulled me into his arms. More serious than anything. Why didn't you say so 7 years ago? Because back then I had no right to you. His fingers threaded my hair. I was a broke student. You were the professor's daughter. So that was it. I'd always thought I wasn't good enough. Turns out his pride had been too bruised. And now, I tilted my face up. Now I've got the cars, the house, the company, the best life to give you. I never cared about those. I know. He kissed my forehead. But I do. Classic male ego. He needed to be sure he could shield me before he dared confess. So what are we now? What do you want us to be? Boyfriend and girlfriend. Straight to the point. He smiled. Done. From this second, you're my girlfriend. Then he kissed me again, deeper this time, flavored with alcohol and raw possessiveness. I lost myself, forgetting time, forgetting place, until my phone rang. Mom, Aurora, Sophie's wedding tomorrow. Did you prepare a cash gift? Ready. I straightened my blouse. Mom, are you going? Her mother invited me. Can't refuse. After I hung up, Adrian asked, need me at the wedding tomorrow? No. I shook my head. I can handle it. You sure? Positive. Saturday morning I slipped into a powder blue dress and light makeup. The ceremony was at the Plaza Hotel in Manhattan. When I arrived, guests were filing in. By the guestbook table Sophie, regal in white, greeted arrivals. Seeing me, her eyes flickered with something complicated. Aurora, you came. Congratulations. I handed the red envelope to the bridesmaid. Be happy. Thanks. She started to speak, but the groom tugged her arm. Aurora. Julian's gaze held a dozen unspoken things. Congratulations. I said, smile steady. Be good to each other. I turned away and found my seat. The wedding was lavish. Sophie's parents had spared no expense. The officiant delivered blessings. Rings were exchanged. I watched. Perfectly calm. No jealousy. No resentment. Not a ripple. Maybe because someone new already lived in my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the newlyweds to the mic. Julian took it, thanking guests. Then his eyes landed on me. Today I'm thrilled to marry Sophie. His voice quavered. I also owe thanks to someone. A chill hit my spine. Thank you to my ex, Aurora. Without her stepping aside, Sophie and I wouldn't be here. Every head swiveled toward me. Heat scalded my cheeks. I wanted to bolt. Step aside. They'd cheated. Now I'd supposedly gifted them their happiness. Sophie took the mic. Aurora is my best friend and the person I'm most grateful to. Without her generosity we wouldn't have today. I couldn't take another second. I stood to leave. Just then the ballroom doors swung open. Adrian strode in. Black tux immaculate. Heads pivoted from me to him. He came straight to my side and offered his hand. Sorry I'm late. Startled, I placed my hand in his. What are you doing here? I whispered. Worrying about you. He brushed my ear. Good thing I came. On stage the newlyweds froze. The officiant scrambled. Let's wish the couple lifelong happiness. Adrian guided me back to my seat. His presence wrapped me in armor. You okay? He asked. I am now. I squeezed his hand. Thanks for coming. The reception limped on. Whispers everywhere. Speculation raging about Adrian. I felt Julian's glances, regret, maybe even jealousy. Finally the banquet ended. Adrian and I started to leave. Aurora. Wait. Sophie hurried after us. I paused. Something else? I'm sorry. She bit her lip. Julian's speech. I didn't know he'd. No big deal. I cut her off. It's all in the past. And this is. She glanced at Adrian. My boyfriend. Adrian. I introduced him without hesitation. Sophie blinked, visibly startled. Boyfriend. Since when? Recently. I offered no details. We're heading out. Once again. Congratulations on the wedding. Once we were in the car, Adrian asked, how do you feel? Amazing. I sank into the seat, especially the moment you walked in. Good. He started the engine. Shall we celebrate? celebrate? Let's. We went to a bistro in Brooklyn and took a table by the window. Thank you for today. I lifted my crystal flute. No need to thank me. He tapped his glass against mine. That's what boyfriends are for. How did you know I'd need you? Instinct. He sliced into his steak. And I didn't want you facing it alone. Adrian. I said his name. I think I've really fallen for you. He set his knife and fork down and looked up. Same here. A gentle light flickered in his eyes. Since 7 years ago. In that instant, my heart surrendered completely. Life with Adrian was full every single day. At work we were partners. At home, lovers. He was thoughtful, caring for me in the smallest ways. He'd warm the car before I got in because he knew I hated the cold. He'd tell the server, no cilantro, the moment he ordered because he remembered I couldn't stand it. He'd brew me a mug of coffee without a word when he saw I was worn out. This feeling of being treasured was something I'd never had with Julian. Aurora, there's a project in London next month. Are you up for it? He asked in the office. How long? A month. With you? Yep. I answered without thinking. I'm in. No second thoughts? He smiled. It's overseas work. As long as I'm with you. Anywhere is fine. He walked over and brushed a kiss on my forehead. Then it's settled. Just then my phone rang. It was Sophie. Aurora, can we meet? She sounded exhausted. What's going on? I need to talk. All right. The usual place. The usual place was the coffee shop we'd haunted back in college, Old Town Coffee in Brooklyn. I arrived 10 minutes early and ordered 2 coffees. When Sophie walked in, her face was pale, eyes swollen. What happened? I asked, concerned. Julian and we might be getting divorced. Her voice was barely a whisper. I froze. Why? You've only been married 2 months. He says he still loves you. She gave a bitter smile. Ever since the wedding he compares me to you, says I'm not as understanding, not as driven, not as independent. Tears rolled down her cheeks. He claims marrying me was an impulsive mistake. I didn't know what to say. They'd betrayed me, and now he swore he loved me. Men's hearts were impossible to read. So what are you going to do? I have no idea. She sobbed harder. Aurora, what should I do? Sophie, listen. I handed her a tissue. If Julian really doesn't love you, divorce will free you both. But I love him. Loving someone who doesn't love you back won't bring happiness. I thought of my own past. Trust me, letting go is best for everyone. What about you? She lifted her head. If Julian wants you back, not a chance. I was firm. I'm already with someone. You mean that Adrian guy? Yes. Are you serious? Dead serious. I held her gaze. Sophie, let the past stay past. You're young. You'll meet someone who truly loves you. She was quiet for a long time, then finally nodded. You're right. As we parted, she asked, Aurora, do you hate me? No. I shook my head. I should thank you. Actually, thank me? If it weren't for what happened, I wouldn't have quit, wouldn't have met Adrian, wouldn't have the happiness I have now. She stared, then smiled. I'm glad. Back home, I told Adrian everything. Julian wants you back? He frowned. Seems that way. I nestled against his chest. I turned him down flat. What if he keeps bothering you? He won't. I looked up. Besides, I've got you to protect me. He hugged me tight. I won't let anyone hurt you. I know, but I had underestimated Julian's persistence. The next morning I walked into the office and found a bouquet of roses on my desk. Powder pink. 99 stems. My old favorite. The card read, Aurora, give me a chance. Julian, I wrinkled my nose and dropped the flowers in the trash. Who sent the roses? Adrian stepped out of his office. Ex-boyfriend. I didn't hide it. His face darkened. What does he want? Probably to get back together. I shrugged. I tossed them. Aurora, I think, before he could finish. Reception called. Ms. Carter, there's a Mr. Hart downstairs asking for you. My head throbbed. Tell him I'm not in. He says he'll wait all day if he has to. I looked at Adrian. His expression was stormier than before. I'll go deal with it. I stood. I'm coming with you. He rose too. I can handle it myself. I said, I'm coming. His tone brooked no argument. Down in the lobby, Julian stood in a tailored tuxedo, another bouquet in hand, drawing stairs. When he saw me walk in with Adrian, his face twitched. Aurora, I need to talk to you, alone. There's nothing to say. I shot him down. Go home to your wife. Sophie and I are getting divorced. He spoke loudly. Aurora, I realize I still love you. Whispers rippled around us. Heat crawled up my neck. Julian, stop making a scene. I kept my voice low. We're done. It was my mistake. I shouldn't have. Your mistake wasn't cheating. I cut in. It's harassing me now. Aurora, we were together 3 years. Don't you feel anything? Nothing. I met his gaze. From the moment you chose betrayal, it all vanished. But I love you. Tears glinted in his eyes. I really do. Then why did you cheat the day I left for London? My voice rose. Why did you sleep with Sophie the moment my flight took off? He had no answer. Mr. Hart. Adrian finally spoke. Aurora is my girlfriend. Stop bothering her. And you are? Julian eyed him. Hostile. Her boyfriend. Adrian pulled me behind him. And her boss. Boss? Julian's mouth twisted. Aurora, you'd seduce your superior just to get back at me? That was too much. Before I could retort, Adrian spoke. Voice icy. Watch your mouth, Mr. Hart. Aurora and I are in a normal relationship. Normal? Julian sneered. A subordinate and her boss. What's normal about that? Enough. I'd had it. Julian, you have zero right to judge my choices. Aurora, I know you're trying to hurt me. I'm not. I stared at him. I simply don't love you anymore. Leave. Now. Adrian's tone left no room for argument. Or I call security. Julian glanced from me to Adrian, then finally walked out. I'm sorry. I said to Adrian. I've caused you trouble. Silly. He ruffled my hair. It's not your fault. But what he said. I don't care. His gaze was steady. Only you matter. Back upstairs. My mood was still heavy. Julian's words had been vile, but they planted a seed of worry. Our relationship could easily be misunderstood. What's on your mind? Adrian sat beside me. You. I leaned on his shoulder. Us. What about us? I'm afraid people will gossip. Let them. He shrugged. The truth protects itself. But, Aurora, he cupped my face. We've done nothing wrong. We don't owe the world an explanation. I know. It's just what? I'm scared of losing you. I stared into his eyes. I finally have you. You won't lose me. He kissed me softly. Never. But things were more complicated than I could imagine. That afternoon, Wendy from HR came to see me. Aurora, there's something I need to talk to you about. Her expression was dead serious. What is it? It's about your relationship with Adrian. My heart sank. Wendy, we haven't broken any company rules. I know. She sat down. But lately there's been office gossip saying you only got in here because of him. Who's saying that? Who doesn't matter? She waved it off. What matters is that the rumor hurts you. I went quiet. Wendy, Adrian and I didn't get involved until after I was hired. I believe you. She nodded. Others might not. So what are you saying? I suggest you keep your distance for a while. She paused. At least inside these walls. I understood. To protect me, and to protect Adrian, we had to be careful. Got it. Thanks. Wendy. Back in my office I told Adrian everything. That's outrageous. He was furious. Let them say it to my face. Let it go. They're just worried about the firm's image. I calmed him. We really should watch ourselves at work. Why should we? He wouldn't let up. We're not doing anything wrong. Adrian, our reputations matter. I squeezed his hand. Especially yours, your senior management. He stared at the skyline, then finally agreed. From that day on we stayed strictly professional. We sat farther apart in meetings, spoke in boardroom tones, but after hours we were still us. A week passed and the chatter died down, until the night an anonymous text landed on my phone. Want the truth about Adrian's past? Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Old Town Coffee. I stared at the screen, stomach churning. His past. What didn't I know? I tossed all night, but at 8 the next evening I walked in. The place was half empty. I took a corner table. 8 on the dot. A woman stepped inside. Striking. Maybe 30. Head-to-toe designer. You're Aurora. She slid into the chair across from me. And you are? Vivian. Adrian's ex. My pulse spiked. Why contact me? Because you deserve facts. She ordered a latte. Do you know why he left his last firm? Tell me. He slept with a junior analyst. Her tone stayed flat. She got pregnant. He refused responsibility. The blood in my veins iced over. That's a lie. It's not. She fished a photo from her bag. Here they are together. The shot showed Adrian with his arms around a younger girl. Grainy, but unmistakably him. This proves nothing. I fought to stay calm. Ms. Carter, I know it stings. She tucked the photo away. It's still the truth. Why warn me? Because I don't want anyone else repeating my mistake. She stood. Adrian's exciting, but women are disposable to him. Why did you two break up? I saw what he really is. A bitter smile. A collector of toys. She left me sitting there, head spinning. Could Adrian be that man? I replayed every moment we'd shared. No cracks. No lies. He was attentive, consistent, devoted. But if Vivian was right, if I was just the newest toy, back home he was sautéing vegetables. Hey, he glanced over, grinning. You're late. Caught up with a girlfriend. Female friend. good. He set a plate down. Thought someone might be hitting on you. Watching that easy concern, I felt more lost than ever. If he used women, why treat me this well? If I was just a diversion, why does he say he loves me? Am I overthinking? Or is his acting that flawless? I don't know what to believe anymore. Next evening we went to the movie as planned. A rom-com about two people falling in love. Watching the couple on screen, my heart felt sour and numb. Enjoying it? Adrian whispered. I replied absently. Aurora. He took my hand. Something's been bothering you, hasn't it? No. Really? He turned to face me. You've been avoiding my eyes. I haven't. Then look at me. I couldn't. I was terrified of finding lies in those eyes. Adrian, I said at last. I need to ask you something. Shoot. Do you have a child? His body went rigid. Why ask that? Answer me. Do you have a child? After a long silence he nodded. Yes. My heart sank to the floor. How many? 1. How old? 3. Who's the mother? A former colleague. Why did you split? We didn't get along. And the child? She has him. You never visit? Rarely. Why? Work's crazy. Every word felt like a blade. Too busy with work. That's an excuse. Aurora, he said, sensing my mood. What's wrong? Nothing. I stood. I want to go home. The movie's not over. I'm done. We rode in suffocating silence. Aurora, do you know something? He finally asked. Know what? About Mia. Mia? I feigned ignorance. Who's that? My son's mother. Oh. I kept my voice flat. Aurora, let me explain. Explain what? I stared out the window. That you have a kid. Or that you shirk responsibility? I'm not shirking anything. Then why stay away? Because. He hesitated. We had no real relationship. No relationship. So you sleep together? It was a moment of weakness. A moment? I laughed coldly. So irresponsibility is okay, if it's impulsive? I pay child support. Money equals responsibility? I spun toward him. Children need fathers, not checks. Aurora, it's complicated, he said urgently. Mia and I were never in love. And us. I locked eyes with him. Are you in love with me? Absolutely. No hesitation. I love you. Love? I gave a bitter smile. A man who abandons his child knows love? Don't say that. It's true. Tears streamed down. Adrian, I realize I don't know you at all. You do, he insisted. What I feel for you is real. Real? I shook my head. Then why hide your son? I was afraid you couldn't accept it. So you chose deceit? I wanted the right moment. When would that be? I demanded. When we marry. When I'm pregnant? Aurora, it's not like that. Then how is it? I stared. Tell me, when were you planning to tell the truth? He had no answer. The car stopped at my building. Adrian, we're done. I unbuckled. What? He looked stunned. I said we're breaking up. I repeated. I can't be with a man who has a child he won't raise. Aurora, listen, no explanations. I opened the door. Some things can't be excused. Aurora, he tried to follow. Don't. I glanced back. I need space. I took the week off. Stayed home, trying to process what came next. Mom noticed I hadn't left the house and asked if I'd fought with my boyfriend. I kept it vague. Just some problems. Don't force love, she said gently. Let go when it's time. I know. My phone buzzed nonstop. Adrian calling. I watched his name flash and never picked up. He texted walls of explanations, insisting I'd misunderstood. I didn't reply, because the facts were plain. He had a child and shrugged off fatherhood. That can't be spun. A week later, I walked back into Morgan Stanley. Adrian's eyes lit up the instant he saw me. Aurora, you came. He stepped forward. Ms. Carter. I cut him off. Let's keep it professional. We need to talk. If it's work, fine, I said, sitting at my desk. Personal matters? No. You're still angry? I'm not angry, I said, powering up my laptop. I just think we're incompatible. In what way? Values. I met his gaze. A man should care for his child. You obviously disagree. Aurora, it isn't what you think. Then enlighten me. I stopped typing. Tell me what it really is. He opened his mouth and said nothing, because facts don't bend. From that day on we were strictly colleagues. We discussed deal flow in meetings, worked in parallel the rest of the time. It was as if we'd never been a couple, but I knew the stalemate wouldn't last. Either he would let go, or I would leave. Thanks for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share your opinions. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories. See you next time.